Oslo's 20-year legacy of failure lives on. Vertical line all Jazeera America. Global header background image. URL/content/jam/jcr:/content/header/image desktop.adapt.960. High. 1,379,072,265,555. Jpg at media minimum width 768 px and max width 959 px. Global header background image. URL/content/jam/jcr:/content/header/imageable.adapt.960. High. 1,379,072,265,555. Jpg at media max width 767 px. Global header background image. URL/content/jam/jcr:/content/header/imageable.adapt.753. Medium. 1,379,072,265,555. Jpg. Display mobile navigation. Display mobile search bar. News. Video. Shows. Schedule. More shows. Sections. U.S. International economy, technology, science, environment, health, education, culture, sports. Trending. Syria's war, weather, health, technology. Search form. Oslo's 20-year legacy of failure lives on. By Khaled Elch. Indeed. September 13, 2013. 1:24 a.m. At. Analysis. An agreement to end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has instead established a new format of occupation topics. Israel. Palestine. Middle East. Viewed comments. 2 decades on, the Oslo Agreement has defined virtually all aspects of Israeli-Palestinian relations. AFP/Getty Images. It has been 20 years to the day since the famous handshake between Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and Palestine Liberation Organization PLO Chairman Yasser Arafat. On September 13, 1993, on the White House lawn, the two former enemies, flanked by President Bill Clinton, signed the historic Declaration of Principles VOP, pledging to pursue a peaceful resolution to the nearly century-old conflict between their two peoples. Although both men are now deceased, the process launched with their historic handshake lives on. 2 decades on, the Oslo Agreement, named for the secret talks held in the Norwegian capital in the months before the Washington signing ceremony, along with the many successive initiatives derived from it, has defined virtually all aspects of Israeli-Palestinian relations ever since. Oslo also came to define America's approach to the conflict. Yet, its remarkable longevity stands as a testament not to Oslo's utility, but to its failure. Ultimately, the record of the Oslo process speaks for itself. 3 formal rounds of permanent status negotiations, Camp David in 2000, Taba in 2001 and Annapolis in 2007, all failed to produce an agreement. Nor did the dizzying array of partial agreements, protocols, memorandums and other micro-initiatives, the Heron Agreement, White River Memorandum, Sharm el-Sheikh Memorandum, the Tenet Work Plan, the Mitchell Report, President Bush's Roadmap and others. The 1993 Accord was followed by a series of additional agreements, most notably the Interim Agreement of 1995 Oslo II, which laid out the specific responsibilities and jurisdictions of each party as well as the exact functions of the newly created Palestinian Authority PA. Under the Oslo framework, the parties agreed to a 5-year interim period while putting off negotiations over the most difficult questions: Jerusalem, refugees, borders and security until the end. Click for all Jazeera special coverage of Oslo at 20. The logic of this deferral rested on the belief that incremental progress on smaller-scale issues, such as security cooperation and improving economic conditions, would build mutual trust and confidence between the parties and enable them to tackle the tougher issues further down the road. The entire process was to have been completed by May 1999, although not explicitly stated in the accords. The goal was understood to be an independent Palestinian state in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. In the interim, the parties agreed that either side shall initiate or take any step that will change the status of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip pending the outcome of the permanent status negotiations. The first of many provisions that meaning was effectively nullified by Oslo's tradition of constructive ambiguity. Whereas Palestinians understood that provision to include the cessation of Israeli settlement activity, the view shared by successive U.S. administrations, Israel interpreted it as applying only to the legal status of the occupied territories.